The following podcast is most likely unlistenable, unintelligible, inarticulate, and problematic, and will probably ruin your day. But if you have any pity in your big red heart, you will listen to these four handsome boys. Please, bro, please. They need this so bad. Please listen, bro. Just listen.
I would not be surprised.
No, they didn't. They didn't get rid of it for that, but they did get rid of it at the same time as all.
That's kind of
So,
suspicious. I mean,
it was pretty funny.
So
Talk-
now I have to get a chocolate frosty. Or
Yeah, you can't get a vanilla one.
they
What?
removed it for Black Lives Matter. I mean,
That
like
pisses me off.
that really pisses Marchin off. He tweeted about that. Well,
I want a vanilla frosty.
Taco Bell removed a bunch of items too, right? Like they
Taco
only-
Bell removed all the items that people buy at Taco Bell.
yeah, you can only get a Baja Blast or those like cinnamon pork rinds that they sell.
Those are good. The cinnamon balls, those are good.
The cinnamon balls are good. There's the other cinnamon things. There's cinnamon twist, and it's literally like they fall apart. They disintegrate into nothing in your mouth. They're like
churros?
pork rinds.
Isn't that what they are?
No, they're not churros. They're like
pork rinds.
it's like a suggestion. It's an echo of a churro, a whisper of a churro.
It's an
Yeah, I don't
echo menu item.
Taco Bell because I don't really like cat food and heartburn.
Why not?
I do.
Yeah, I do. sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
I remember going to the one in the mall where it was KFC
Oh
and
god.
Taco Bell. Man,
KFC Taco Bell combination.
Delectable.
uh,
Delectable, bro.
I had a few bouts of upset tummy from eating there.
Upset stomach diarrhea.
I need some Pepto.
Have you guys heard right that and this isn't a joke, this is real, that KFC retired their slogan
What?
A finger.
because of finger looking good.
Why? Because it reminds people of vaginas?
No, because of just current times to be sanitary.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Isn't that fucked?
That's lame as fuck.
The world's coming to an end, dude.
It's so no. Do you know what they did? That's their excuse. They just wanted to fucking change their logo. It's like McDonald's changed their logo a while ago, right?
Did they?
Yeah.
What was their old logo?
Not
or-
logo.
It
I
was
mean-
the D.
Yeah. No, I mean, what was their old slogan?
slogan was ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, it used to be a guy jerking off.
It's no. That's what it used to be. It's not. I'm loving it anymore.
Oh, it's just butt up. Like they write that phonetically.
No, it's not. They don't have a slogan. I don't think. But it used to be I'm loving it, but they changed it. Now you just hear the jingle. They don't say it.
Oh, I think no. I know what you're talking about. Like in commercials, they don't say "I'm loving it" at the end.
They don't
just
say
go,
I'm loving it.
"Do-do-do-do-do."
It's just the jingle. 'Cause
Welcome
you-
back
The
to.
ding.
We can talk about this.
Oh, are we
cold opens.
recording?
Cold open's going on for a long time. I still want to talk about this shit, but I might as well just get the intro.
Still want to
out
talk
of the
about
way.
McDonald's.
Welcome back to Post Unavailable. It's the podcast for nobody, by nobody. I'm joined by Basie Farrell,
Hi.
Matthew Cosrin,
What's up, bros?
and Marchin Babel.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I want to talk about Tim Hortons' old slogan.
Ooh.
Always fresh.
Do they still have that?
Tim Hortons.
I always thought that was a different restaurant
Always fresh?
because you would see the two signs together, but they were two separate signs. So I was like, "Oh, there's a Tim Hortons. Where's the always fresh?"
You're
Wait,
a
always
fucking-
fresh
you're
is
a
Tim Hortons'
dumbass.
slogan?
It
Yeah.
used to be.
Right, no, it still is. I think, isn't it?
Subway nabbed fresh, eat fresh,
Fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
Eat fresh.
and then
Subway.
Taco Bell is think outside the bun.
What? I thought it was think outside.
Think outside the bun. The bun. I
No, it's
thought it
think
was-
outside the bun.
Wasn't it? No, it's not.
Who
What's
cares?
the talk? It's
Bell?
live
Talk
mass.
about
I thought it
think
was
outside.
Yeah, you put the ketchup outside the bun. That's how you make a hot dog.
Oh, maybe you're right. It is outside the bun.
Ketchup
Now, you're thinking of hot dog bell.
in the
I'll
bun.
put my hot dog in the bun.
Outside the bun.
How's your guys' first couple days of school? I want to hear about this.
It was pretty funny, actually. We it was a history class, and it was a Zoom call, and it was really good because while the lecture was going on and the teacher was going through the slides,
I took my pants off.
everybody was memeing the Zoom
Oh
chat,
my god!
That's
I don't-
not good. That's
you-
not good. That's the opposite of
Like,
good.
they were saying things like, "We got to retake the Holy Land, and the Holy Land is
Oh God.
all." They wanted swords. They were talking
I-
about dragons.
So when you told me this the first time, and then you told me all you told me was that everyone was memeing, and that it was a history class, and I was like, I bet to swear to fucking God, if it's these nerds talking about being like crusaders and Deus Vult and
What
shit,
else could it be?
That's so dumb.
it's always that.
Why? Why? Like,
Well, I don't know why you think it's so dumb. I think it's great.
don't you have more? Like, you know what?
I love the creative expression.
It's not that it's dumb, it's that it's overplayed. It's like internet meme shit.
Who do you think these people are?
That's my point.
They're not human, Noah.
I'm sick of it.
Beings don't go to university anymore.
That's true. Only Redditors.
Yeah.
Only
We literally go to
Redditors.
fucking Reddit University.
Only
I'm sick of
all
it.
universities are Reddit University.
Somebody said their connection was bad, and somebody literally typed F in the chat. Okay, they typed
That's funny though.
capital F.
God.
Another-
F is funny because it doesn't get in the way.
They said rip.
It's just you just
said
said
F.
F and that's it.
Yeah, but
Does
Wait till people start
It's not
yelling
even supposed to be
poggers.
funny. It's not even supposed to be funny.
I feel
Poggers.
all teachers should
Poggers is funny.
well,
if
teacher
somebody said poggers, oh my
Poggers,
god!
poggers, 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 poggers.
I would turn on my webcam and type and start screaming poggers.
all
Did you
teachers
guys turn on
should
your
do their
webcam for any of
lectures
your
over
classes?
Twitch though. I think all teachers should move to Twitch because that way they can have
I know,
emotes
they
and
should.
shit.
They're
That's true.
streaming on Twitch. Holy fuck!
That's true.
It'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
they have extra money too. They get subs.
Yeah.
They get their-
Yes.
to sub.
Someone donates like a bunch of fucking like
Dude, that's what I
curses
would
and
do
shit.
if I was a professor. I'd be like, you guys got to watch me on twitch.tv. That's where that's where all the lectures are going to be.
they're playing fucking like
Oh,
Call of Duty.
shit.
They're playing Fall Guys and like yeah, the crazy like now the interesting thing about the Baroque period was the emergence of ideas that were from the English Enlightenment. Oh fuck! Holy shit! I didn't fucking qualify. Fuck.
That is that fucking cunt. I saw that. I saw that little fault bitch push me off.
He's playing Warzone.
back to
It's like, where the fuck did that guy come from? Anyways, the Baroque period. So we're talking about early 1400s.
The
Where-
Classmates started stream sniping them.
the only thing that happened in my first of all, we didn't even use Zoom. We used Boingo,
Fuck.
Boingo.
which is the it's like the built-in like calling app it's built into the website that we use for university, and it's like not terrible. Like Zoom is obviously better, but it's like
But it has the best name.
the connection is really bad for whoever's like hosting the video. And so our teacher was hosting and they're like, it was fine, but it was like kind of glitchy here. It sounded like early episodes of our podcast, basically. And everyone in the chat, it's literally the first day everyone
Was
in
the
the chat like
sound
this
changed
sucks.
at all?
This sucks. This I can't hear it. Glitchy connection. Can't hear it. What's the class average? Can't hear it. It's like it's the first day. Let's relax a little bit.
These fucking guys.
That's amazing.
I did have a Zoom call yesterday and that went fine. But it's like, have you guys had
What
it?
do you guys have in your classes?
I mean, what?
90 in
60
my last two Zoom calls.
in my one Zoom call, because two of my courses literally have nothing website yet. Nothing at all. I think one of them has like a textbook, maybe. I think
That's
that's what
funny.
it is.
Of course,
It's
that's
literally-
the first thing they
Yeah.
put up.
It's literally just like dates. It's all separate sections, and it's all dates like September 14th to 16th. I was like, okay, what the fuck? And it's a PDF, and I clicked on it, and it's literally just pages. I guess they got from Aries or whatever, and they just posted. I guess it's the textbook, and they just got it off there, and they're just like, fuck it, and they just posted, and so it's just a giant PDF thing, and you have to scroll through, and it's like 50 pages. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Well, 28 pages.
I
but-
told you about the thing that I had a couple semesters ago where it was basically a cloud-based textbook. So it was a textbook that everyone had access to, and it was constantly actively updating what people, because you had to highlight, so students could highlight sections and then you could comment on them, sort of like a response board. And we had to do that every week. We had to go through the chapter, respond to someone's thing that they highlighted in our big collective textbook that we all had, and or highlight your own shit. And you had to do 7 of those every week.
God.
It sucked.
Oh yeah, you're saying the weird highlighting thing. Could you
Yeah.
see other people's highlights?
Yeah, that was the whole point of it. You see people's highlights, and then you would respond to what they said.
I'd highlight.
And so basically, it was me like finding
PDF.
Well, you'd have to do it per chapter, right? I would find like
A.
I would find who would say like who highlighted like really short section. Like I would find something that's like a couple words, and they would their response, their comment on it would be like, "This is really bad." Then I would like respond to it and be like, "I agree with this statement.
This
with
fucking
what
sucks.
this person posted. This is bad." Like that's every response. Anytime people are forced to do responses in school, it's always that. It's always just fucking like, I just want to piggyback off of what Kyle said, and I also agree.
You have 4 other courses you have to worry about. You don't give a fuck.
No,
it's like it's not like you get a grade on it either. You get like a mark, right?
Yeah.
It's like you either do it or you don't. So you might as well just fucking do it. Be like, I agree. Yes. Actually, and you put in a few fucking words. Okay. So for one of my classes, we have to do. It's that same history class. We have to do introductions for our groups, right? So there's like 10 people in a group, and so you have to do the introduction. And I was the first one. I posted first. I'm
First.
I posted first as XD.
Oh shit.
And no, because I really want to talk to people and be friends with the people in my group, because I've been lonely this whole fucking time. And so I said, the teacher posted.
That wasn't homophobic. That was a community reference.
And then I posted a little paragraph, not even like half a paragraph, right, saying like, "Oh, my name's Basie, and the blah blah blah. I'm in this, and I want."
Wait, did you have to like? Was
you
this
have
kind
to
of
do this. You have
okay,
to.
yeah.
And then you don't have to respond, but it's just so people can see, right? And then the next person, it was a little longer, so, "Oh, hi, I'm so and so. I'm this." She's like, "Oh, I live on a farm," or something, right? And then the third person to post, motherfucking short story. I swear to God, it's like, "Oh, I've been here and here and this and that," and then like the first 2 paragraphs are like normal-ish, but then it goes into like, I'm like, just it sounds like a story, right? A little excerpt. I don't want to do an excerpt.
What class is this? Is it
This is history. This is history. But they're like, I want to use the foundations of history and psychology and theater to produce a plot unlike any other, right? Really theatric. I'm like, holy fuck, this is just an intro.
I mean, whatever. Live your truth, but like at the same time, holy like. Read the room.
There's a new one that's just a fucking short story. Actually, it's not that much.
I had a Zoom call that only had 13 people in it.
Oh, how many people are supposed to be in it?
Oh, that's what I had.
I think the class is short. It's like when you get to 4th year, your classes are really small because it's a creative writing lab kind of thing. So, but literally, it's like it's so awkward because everyone has their webcam on, right? It's like if it's a class of 13 people, like you have.
Yeah.
I guess that's like kind of the
because there's so
norm, right? Yeah, and they're all English students, right? So they want to like,
see you. Yeah, they're very visual.
Yeah,
they're very something, but I don't want to say.
I want to look at you.
One guy had his thing off, and he was like, "Yeah, my internet connection is really bad, so I don't want to lag you guys out." And I'm like,
"He's from New Zealand."
I'm like, this king. It's like I wish I used that excuse because now I have to fucking look at my hair and like I'm just playing with my fucking like face and making sure I like don't look like a psycho
my God,
on the webcam.
Who cares? Look like a psycho. There were so many people in the Zoom call. It was so, like, I don't want to make fun of people because I'm not the most handsome lad, but like it was pretty funny. There's just like the weird angle stuff and like it's just so funny how they had their laptops.
Then mine was like I had mine like literally on my lap, so it's like looking up at me like I'm King Kong.
So you're like imposing over them.
Yeah.
So I only had one Zoom call, but it was like that where it was only like 14 people.
Do you guys do any? did you guys have any breakaway groups in your Zoom
Yes,
calls? Yeah.
I did.
Oh God, yeah.
Nope.
They're so funny because the teacher will put you in these breakaway groups, like where you're with a group of people at random. Sometimes, like for us, it was random. I think you can do it where it's like a set group every time, but like you'll just be talking about something, and then it'll just say like, "All right, the group's closing now in like a minute,"
Yeah, and then you just leave.
and then you're like, "Okay, see you guys, bye."
It was so funny, yeah, because I didn't know what she was talking about. She's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put you in groups," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "She's not very," because I had her last semester. She's not the most technologically
Yeah.
sound person,
Mhm.
right? And that's fine, right?
It's
But
to be
like,
expected at
but
fucking
but it
university.
worked, right? I guess she practiced it like super hard, and I was like amazing, right? And then I was just in a group with two other dudes, and I couldn't hear one dude for a bit, and it was just like the two most regular dudes, right?
Yeah,
Just like
Just
regular.
guys being dudes.
It was literally just a couple
dudes.
bros,
it's like this podcast.
like literally just there on their
Shut
couch
the
or
fuck up.
whatever. And then
Just a
there's
couple
me,
monkeys chilling.
and you can see like, thank God I had the camera zoomed in a little bit, like it wasn't in the HD mode. Otherwise, you'd be able to see my whole room. But they could see like my bunk bed and shit. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and they could see my gamer chair.
Oh, fuck.
That's the most embarrassing part, I think.
They could
Is
see
it-
what?
My gamer chair,
Oh,
my
I thought you said
DXR.
gamer tag.
Did they see it and did they
my
go?
DXR.
"Whoa, that's
or DXR.
poggers."
That's poggers, dude. I mean, I'd be
No,
proud.
I don't think they said anything about it, but that was probably the most embarrassing part.
That's why I went in my living room and did it. I didn't do it here where people could see my fucking like Transformers display.
That'd be awesome.
Get kicked out of the fucking class.
They'd be fucking jealous.
It
They
was
would
funny.
You
We
get
were
suspended for your Transformers.
we were doing like a breakaway group, and then the professor can do a thing where they'll just enter random people's groups.
What
So
the
like
fuck?
you'll be talking about shit, and they'll be like, "Hello," and we're like, "Oh, hi." We didn't really
Surprise!
we don't really know what to do. And she's like, "Oh, just checking to make sure your guys like are following everything and on track."
hanging
I'm like,
out.
She jumps in. All three of the dudes are just jerking off on camera.
wow, they got along real fast.
Yeah, how did they get to this stage so quickly?
So
So in
quick.
random groups.
I had this is off topic, but I had a work training today because my other job is at the pool for the city, and
What's the address?
it's 123 Marchand Road.
I'm on my way.
This is the first time that like this specific
Real.
pool has opened, or at least for me. I think they brought people back over the summer, but it's the first time that I've gone back to this the entire time that it's quarantine. So they sent out like a bunch of guidelines, and they sent out a big training video that you have to do, and it is like it's insane. Some of the I mean, like here's the thing: everything they're doing is cooperating with like public health, and they're doing their best to just be cooperative and try and prevent further spread of this.
Right.
I'm just saying from like an objective perspective, some of this stuff is like crazy. Like in order to so the guidelines for CPR
Wear
now,
a mask? Oh,
not well like
Wait.
no it's not that, but like stuff like where it's like CPR now is
I
you
can
have
do
to put
CPR now? Ugh.
you have to put
gross.
you have to be wearing a mask the entire time during CPR, and the victim also has to be wearing a mask, and then you have to take off your mask and then take off their mask, breathe into the like the face shield filter that we use, take it off, put their mask back on, and then also put your mask back on and continue compressions. Like there's all these like little steps now.
You'll fucking
How-
die before you
That's the thing.
that doesn't make any sense. You're not gonna prevent the spread if you're literally face to face. Your mouth is on their mouth. I don't care how many masks you have. You have to put air in them.
Dude, the
You're not going to prevent the spread unless you
The
both have PPP on, and even then that wouldn't.
Mhm.
The
So what's
My
I
PP's on.
point?
Yeah.
the
Put your
idea
PP on.
is that you're preventing them from breathing out any sort of like pheromones or anything that could be carrying.
The fucking locusts are coming.
Yeah, they're gonna make you. It's fucking poison ivy. You're gonna fall in love with them. But like, but like, I it's just fucking bureaucracy, and kudos to the people that I work with and like the coordinators. Like I know that if given the choice, obviously they wouldn't do this, but obviously anywhere, like any place of business wouldn't be doing this stuff. but it's all like bureaucracy, right? We're just trying to cooperate and not cause a scene. But man, it's so
Just trying to
over the
save
top.
your ass as much as possible from a lawsuit.
Yeah.
But I think
I
the
get
government
it.
has laws in place that prevents places from getting lawsuits if somebody catches coronavirus there. So I think they're even safe from lawsuits, unless because it's the government, like whatever
And it's
municipal
like
government.
this way because the business has told you that you have to do it, even though they don't really expect you to
do all that
to
shit.
change like 8 masks just to CPR a person. They won't be the ones that will have to like get their lawyers to go into court meetings and stuff like that just for the judge to tell the person, no, you can't fucking sue this person for giving you CPR, dum dum.
But
No,
like,
Well,
But
yeah,
at least it'll be your
I'm
lawyers, not
assuming this is
theirs.
for CPR training, not if you actually give someone CPR.
No, it
No,
is. If
I don't
it's
want
in the
CPR.
public health guidelines, if you're giving someone CPR, you're not changing out different masks. Like you're not ripping a mask
No,
off them and
it's
putting
like-
a new one on.
Oh,
But
it's
they
the
have
same
to. But you're putting a mask on
Okay.
them while you're doing compressions, and then you
Oh,
have your mask on.
I
Then you're taking off your mask, and then taking down their mask, and then
to breathe
doing
into-
your
yeah.
breathes, and then taking the face
it's
shield,
so
and putting
they
back their mask on, and then putting back your mask on, and then
I think
continuing
they're gonna-
compression.
I see.
you're
I
gonna
thought
drown.
I thought you were talking about like for training if you're doing an
No, this
example
is
or
for
something. I
well,
didn't-
you have to do it. You train to do it this way, this new method. But yeah,
Well,
this is
yeah.
the new standard, and it's like I get it. Like you want to cooperate, but at the same time,
I understand that,
there's
but
no-
if they're suffocating, then every second counts.
I know exactly. That's
I
what I'm
see.
saying.
And just have them quarantine and tested
Well,
after.
masks everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So fuck
Yeah.
masks. When they're breathing and fine, then put the mask on them, and then put a pillow over their face as well.
there's also
Let 'em
there's
go, right? That's what those
Suffocate them.
end it there at the pool.
breathe
with my
mask on.
They actually do that. They tell us that in training to just kind of end it all. If you think it's just a mercy killing is a large part of lifeguarding. You wouldn't expect that.
That's smart. Yeah.
Especially nowadays, you're like, well, you could
Yeah.
catch it. You could catch coronavirus, or I could just end you right now. Just
The
next.
Bitch, make
the
your
thing
choice.
is though, I know from experience, there's almost no one who is going to go to a public swim at a city pool now in current situation happening that
Or for the next 10 years.
that no
after.
but that if they were there are people that are going to go, but I'm saying the people that would go if they were ever in a major incident where they go unconscious and aren't breathing, none of those people are going to be like, well, thank God he was wearing a mask and he put a mask
That's
over me
true.
and he followed safe. The people that go to public swims, especially during
Why do you
times
guys
like
even
this,
have public swims right now?
That's the thing. The people that go to these and especially during times like these are like the most Walmart brand Karen fucking all the
I thought it's like
buzzwords you can
the
think
lanes are open for laps. And
No,
stuff. That'd be it.
we're legit doing public swims, but I think it's like the numbers are concurrent. Like the ratios have to do with how many people your pool can handle. I don't think we should, but we want to keep this business going, right? So we have to do something. Like, I don't know.
All right. Isn't it a publicly funded pool anyway?
Yeah, it's still a business.
Yeah,
It's not-
they
it's not
have to have
cares?
revenue
who
coming
cares?
in to justify keeping
Justify
it open and maintenance, right?
Who
Which is
cares?
why they do so many public swims and rentals.
Here's
for-
libraries.
Yeah.
But libraries are a
Libraries.
capitalist
And $65 million libraries.
that put downtown. Oh, never mind. Not put downtown.
What are we saying? Yeah, libraries suck, dude.
Put it in the
No,
middle.
we're talking about the second library downtown that we're spending money on because it's a priority.
No, we're not
there.
doing it anymore, though.
We are not.
No, I think they canceled that. They scrapped
As
that.
far
project.
as far as I know, last week it was still going on and people were still
actually?
angry.
Oh,
Like 2 weeks ago, yeah, because I keep seeing it on Facebook.
oh my God! Why are you on Facebook?
I just go
Facebook's
on like
awesome
the
for,
I
like,
just go on
crazy-
the Guelph pages so I know what's
It's
going
so
on
funny.
in Guelph.
It's so funny reading comments
But
on
besides
Facebook
that,
from my own city.
Do you know what I've learned? Okay, so if you go on YouTube and you look up anything like Global News or CBC or whatever, and it's something that's criticizing the right, which it usually is because it's mostly left-leaning media, right? The Global News.
uh-huh.
And if it's criticizing the right, the comments will be turned off, and the like to dislike ratio is like 90% dislike. But if it's anything slamming protesters or anything that could be veiled as right-winged comments are enabled, the likes are through the fucking roof, and all the comments are people being like, "Good, these people deserve to die." It is
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
like
most
that's like
backward
that's like Reddit too.
Canada.
Like if you
This is Canada because it's global news. This is Canada.
oh
Everybody
like
Canada-
global actually the thing global. Yeah. Wow.
It's fucking crazy. There's so many racist, just nut jobs in Canada.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. And they're always on these YouTube comments and they're saying crazy shit. And even if you go to news, like the actual news outlet websites, and you read the comments, and it's like Black Lives Matter protester gets loses an eye to police officer beating him or something, right? Whatever.
And they're like, good.
Like, good. All of them need that to happen to them. It's like, fuck, bro. Yeah. It's like, calm down, Canada. And they think fucking America's
Yeah.
bad. Look at that shit. What
Oh
the
no,
fuck?
it's bad. It's bad everywhere. Like
No, I
one-
know, but like people don't realize this. I don't think people realize this. That they'll say when they say Canada's racist, they go back and say, "Oh, look what they do with the Indigenous people." It's like, yeah, that's fucked up. But like that was back then, right? And they're not treating them great now, but at least they're not rounding them up and putting them in fucking camps, right? But now
Anymore.
no, that's what I'm saying anymore. But
Yeah.
we should be talking about what's happening now. These crazy motherfuckers are being like, I want all these people and immigrants.
No,
to
I
die.
agree. And
There
I
can't be any immigrants in Canada. It's like, bro, what?
and within the
Dude,
next
yeah,
10
well-
years, I bet we're gonna be in a similar situation. Like full
Oh,
blown.
God. No, are you kidding me? There's no way we'll be like the States. Oh,
I
there's not enough of us.
I don't know, man.
There's not enough of
depends
us
That's
on-
a good.
it-
That
I
is a
could
good
see it.
point. There is
I
not
could
enough of us.
to what's happening
Yeah.
in the States.
It's
You
too
mean-
cold. It's too cold out.
Yeah, it's too cold most of the year. Shit like that wouldn't even happen in Toronto. There's not going to be riots like that. The last time there was a riot, it was over hockey. And
Or
that
the
was
Raptor and the
There were
Raptors.
protests today outside. Had these really loud speakers. I could
Oh
hear
yeah, I
them.
saw that. on your
But it's
story.
not like that's the thing. Like it's Canada, right? So it's not like
Yeah.
a huge
That was-
mass
that was-
riot.
Instead.
No, and it's not. I mean,
Which again, I think that like I'm not saying that's not justified. It is justified. It happens in the States because they're a lot angrier. There are a lot more people, and shit like that's more prominent.
I
Like
don't
the
think there's
reason they are
any-
rioting is more prominent than it is in Canada. That's why in Canada there aren't as many. It's just like
there's no. I don't think there's any reason to riot. They didn't riot when the Twin Towers fell. In fact, it was very peaceful.
no,
People
no,
were-
they just went to war.
Why would you? What would you riot
What do
about?
you mean? They did a lot worse than rioting.
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they targeted the entire country.
No, but the
Are we
people.
gonna let Obama stay in?
Oh
stay-
well, yeah. They didn't. Well, they didn't riot because it wasn't their own government, as far as they knew at the time.
Right,
that did
but
it.
they
was
didn't
doing
want
it.
the government to go to war, right?
Actually, at
A
the
lot
time,
of
everyone
people
wanted
did.
them to go. to war.
Everyone
A
with
lot
money.
of people did, but there was also the protest. No, but yeah, people on the right obviously wanted them to go to war.
No, just
Right.
anyone with money did. Really.
Yeah, exactly. People wanted the war, like that. That's who has money. It's mostly right wing, conservative, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But people on the left have money as well. But what I'm saying is, there was a lot more actual, like, let's have the peace. The music was all peaceful and stuff, right? Now it's like, oh my god, everybody's pissed. You see,
I think
you
it's
watch
freedom of
videos. People are fucking livid.
Well, yeah. Well, also because
They're
it's a culmination and everything.
screaming profanities at people who haven't even done anything. Like they're just in a rage,
Yeah.
right?
No, absolutely.
I think it's also the like
It's fucking crazy. I don't know why people are like bloodlusting right now. They're getting to the point of bloodlust. Like I can't
what,
wait for when somebody like literally charges the police line with a giant fucking pike or something and just like impales the police officer.
But I think Martin's right though. It's about a culmination of all these things, right? And
Yeah,
like,
it's so like
these people, fuck, like
you people.
no, but like the reason there are protests is people don't have anything to fucking lose anymore. They've been so like pushed down by society and the people with money and the people that are like, why? I don't know why there's riots going on.
But
So it's
but
like
they're
there's nothing to
not
lose
pushed down
anymore.
because you look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong literally had nothing left to lose. They had
Yeah.
nothing left to lose. They were defending themselves with their rioting was warranted. The Hong Kong rioting, yeah, because
Brother, it's all
Yeah.
the same fight.
you don't hear but you don't hear anything from Hong Kong anymore. They're shut down. everybody's jumped ship because you
Yeah,
go
they
to
lost.
jail. You literally go to jail if you speak up, right?
Yeah.
Belarus, people are going to jail. They're charging
you're
police
right.
officers. They're fucking people up because
Well,
their
that's the
government
riots
is
in Hong
fucking
Kong.
with them.
It's not
Exactly. So
that-
they're
it's
gonna
just
do
not
that
true.
in the States while they can.
But the
It's
states,
just Hong Kong isn't mainstream anymore. People don't care about Hong Kong.
no,
like,
no, it's not that
that's
people don't
rioting.
care about Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong's
It's
still
that-
rioting, basically. Like they, nothing's
Even
barely
back then,
anything
nobody
to
cared about
change
Hong Kong. Let's be real.
But you
China
can't.
has
No offense. It
a
just,
lot of effort and a lot of like victories in Hong Kong, but there's still riots going on. The situation hasn't changed. It's just they've just lost a lot more.
Yeah,
They've
but
just,
but if
and China's won a lot more battles. But the only difference is people aren't covering it now. That's all. People
But
just
you
don't
can't
care.
cover- No, you literally can't cover it because China had a law saying that anybody in the world is subject to be, if they criticize the government or what's going on in Hong Kong, literally anybody in the world, no matter where you are, you can be extradited to Hong Kong, right? They can ask,
well,
hey, U.S. Embassy, extradite this guy to Hong Kong. They're going to say, no, what the fuck? Nobody's in their right mind is going to extradite you to Hong Kong. But they can charge, literally, a law says they can charge anybody for criticizing them. So no journalist is going to go over there because if they do, they're fucked. They're literally going to the gulag, bye-bye, forever. So they're not going to cover that shit. It's impossible to. You have to be so covert. It's fucked up.
That's why people riot.
And yeah, and I hope they are rioting, and I hope they kill and put Xi Ping's fucking head on a spike because he's a
Insurrection
cocksucker.
everywhere.
But
I say.
America doesn't need an insurrection. That's what I'm saying. Canada doesn't need an insurrection because there's a lot more places that have it a lot more worse.
whoa! You can't start going down that road of saying just because someone else has it worse,
We're
But
not.
then you're not
But
justified.
do you think that America is at the point where they need to dethrone the government and destroy
No,
everything?
It's
I
not
say
about
let's try
throwing
it. Let's try it and then see how it goes. And then you know what? If we're just
And
not
then
feeling
what?
it,
If
if we're
they
not
feel
feeling
like
it,
it-
if we're not feeling it, we'll find some like, oh, where's the nearest fucking like oil tycoon billionaire racist
Let's
guy, and just put him
destroy
back
a
on the
fucking oil rig.
yeah.
No, that's
We'll
the
put
problem.
it back
You
on the
just- no,
tear.
stop targeting the government. The U.S. government's not the problem.
Yes,
Just
it is.
target the politicians. Just go. Like, I'll be honest.
Oh, well,
So
but Matt,
No,
but that's not what they're going after. They're going after the government because the
Yeah,
system
exactly.
is-
Like,
the
if they were
system-
riding outside of Jeff Bezos' house and someone had already put a bullet in his head, America would be better off. Yes.
Oh no, you're not saying politics. You're saying like the fucking cap. Yeah, it's definitely
No,
a class
I'm
thing.
saying they should.
I am
put a bullet in
so
Jeff
fucking
Bezos' head.
lost. Oh,
America
no,
would have been in a
wait.
better situation by now.
Wait.
Instead,
Okay,
it
so-
should be rioting against the government. It should be a class riot and not a government
Yeah.
riot.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be. But that's not what it is.
No,
That's not what it is because they're
No,
lost.
I agree.
No, they don't. If they made it about police brutality first and foremost, like literally just police brutality, I think both sides would be on that point because obviously, who fucking likes police brutality? That's fucked up, right?
You overestimate the
really
willingness of
No, but people are mad. People on the right, for example, are mad because people aren't targeting police brutality. People are targeting the police in general, right? All cops are bastards, right? I don't think that. I don't think that's true at all, right?
saying
yeah.
Obviously, there's bad apples. That's not a defense, right? There's bad apples in literally anything. There's bad apples where I used to work at the university.
Yeah, but it's a
You
job
were one of
that
them.
it's a job that in theory should require no bad apples. I know it's been said before,
Yeah,
but like the
You
example
want-
is
but
there's
you,
no
we can't have robots policing people, right? I
No,
mean, I
it's
wish we had. I wish we
people.
had RoboCop going
It's
around saying
it's
justice
about
is served and saying
See,
guy-
all you have to do is go out and take out the KKK members from north to south. There is huge amounts of KKK members in the police force. They are literally registered KKK members. It is on a registration form. Like, there's hundreds of thousands across the north and south of the U.S. That is the solution. You just take all of them out. If they cannot be a part of the KKK,
Exactly.
if they're going to be a police, if they're
reform,
going to be
right?
a police
It's also
reform.
it's
That's
it's also
too.
entirely a systemic thing too, because it is reform because it's based on most of the reason that this shit happens is because of arrest not quotas because they don't have quotas, but it's like what you base arrests on and
No,
how
Well,
No,
it's because
literally
it's because they think, oh, we're arresting more
look
people,
better.
so we're obviously doing
yeah
a better
no
job.
that's
when
success
that's-
rates are based on arrests in every
Yeah.
police department, and that's where that
Everywhere.
shit comes from.
literally everywhere. It's fucked up, right? And it shouldn't be like that. But it doesn't matter because
But also the reverse is true. You shouldn't
But the
assume
police
that just
union-
because you're not, arresting or the crime rate is not or whatever. The opposite is my point. That's not a good
No,
thing
but yeah,
either.
it should be.
I'm
but
saying
that's
it shouldn't be
it's not-
based on that at all.
Yeah, exactly. But it is. It should be based more on community policing, but it's not. That's why you have all these, police officers going into the more oppressed neighborhoods and just finding people to arrest for no reason, because it means that the department has a good success rate. They can get more money from the government or whatever. It's an all. We're all on the same page.
I don't like telling people. I don't like viewing people as oppressed people, because when you're oppressed, you have your except for who?
Except for gamers.
Except for gamers,
That's
obviously. you're
Yes,
oppressed.
because
But
for some reason it's just a one word, and I don't know why we can't say it, but
Game up, please. Game up. Okay.
All right, let's not infantilize this.
Right? It's like when a group is oppressed.
It's already infantilized. We're talking about it on the Post Unavailable podcast. Our mascot is a vaporwave monkey. Nothing we say is
I was
serious.
thinking, like, if someone was trying to determine the fucking political leaning of this podcast, they'd have a fucking migraine, because I feel like we fucking flip-flop so much between shit, or like we don't like hold any firm stances. I mean, like, the one you can tell, obviously.
This is why Ben Shapiro should be president.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to tell. We're pretty easygoing
a lot.
Republicans.
We're not.
Yeah, we're all
Exactly.
easygoing Republicans.
We all love money. We love money and stepping on Mexican kids' throats. I can't get enough of
You
it.
took it too far.
Right on their little figingis.
Basically, did you have a final kind of point?
Yeah, I have a final thing.
Well,
Don't
let
call-
him get to
We're
his
not.
middle
We're not.
point
Not
first.
final. I don't
Oh.
mean to wrap you up. But
No, but what I was saying was I don't think people should
Censorship,
call themselves
censorship,
oppressed.
censorship.
I don't think people in America necessarily are oppressed, because or maybe they are, but they shouldn't label themselves as such, because when they do that, they're already like
Well,
they're
this is-
already
there
It's an
are
argument
varying
over-
degrees.
instead of trying to get out of the rut you're in, right? You're
Basically,
just
this
like,
is-
I can blame
to be
it.
honest-
I can just blame it on oppression. Anything that happens,
the
to me, I
same
can just-
argument as this is the same argument as like I don't know, like you can't be racist against white people because they're not like normally in the same situation as you. Only some
because they're not oppressed. Yeah.
because only some of them are in the same situation as you, not all of them. But guess what? Some white people are oppressed. Just like a hell of a lot of people in the U.S. are oppressed. There's oppression in the U.S. Damn, there is. I think you just have a different definition of it.
Right. No, the oppressed, sure. Like, but I don't think you should label yourself as oppressed, right? Because when you label yourself as oppressed, you're already saying, I'm a loser, I guess, right? Like you
But
understand what I'm saying?
I think factually, if you look at how the way it's structured is that a lot of people who are racial minorities are because of I don't know, I don't have an articulated point. I'm just saying,
Listen,
like,
man.
they
Yeah.
are. You can't deny that they are in some way. Again, it goes back to being a class thing, right?
George Carlin said it best, okay? It's a big fucking club and you're not in it.
Yeah, you're not invited. That's what it is. But that means we're all in the same fucking boat, right? But that's not what they want, because they want to separate us. They want to put labels on us. Like
Not
me and you
yeah,
and
who's
you
they?
and you.
No,
We're all
who's
white,
they?
right? So we have white privilege. So we can't be oppressed. We
I
can't
do it,
be
yeah.
oppressed. But
No,
we're
I'm not saying we can't be oppressed.
no,
No,
but what I'm saying is that's what they're saying, right?
Who's they?
We're white. What do you
Who's
mean
they?
they?
the
Black
shadow
Lives Matter
people, man. The
protest?
people that you don't.
I don't
the
think
people that are
that's what-
pulling the strings,
That's
the
what
puppet
they say.
masters.
That's what basically. I'll agree with you that
Says
you're
you
right.
have
There are
white
some
privilege.
people in that political sphere that hold that opinion, but I don't think that is the majority. Like I definitely agree with you that the opinion is there, but I definitely don't think the term they and those people is a good look
No,
for when
if you
referring
call-
to BLM and their
Well,
political
when you
opinions.
refer to the police, you call them they, right? I'm talking about the movement in general, right?
Hmm.
Not black people, obviously. And it's just like when you say Black Lives Matter, it's like, yes, everybody agrees that, right? But if you disagree with the movement and what they're doing now, that's perfectly fine. I think you should be able to disagree with them. I don't think
I think
you
the
should.
problem is
Yeah, you're
I think
allowed-
what
Why
so
it
I no so
racist.
what you're saying
No?
what you're saying is that for the majority of it, like it is, or they're making it a race thing. And are
It
you
shouldn't.
basically
It should be
no?
class.
I agree. I think, but I think if you are making it a class thing, you cannot separate class and race completely. Like it's gonna be intertwined with each other. I
Politics have
think
changed. It used to just be class politics, but it's not.
Well, it used to be class politics because
politics
they didn't consider
as well.
anyone besides white people as, functioning members of society.
so. I think that like I don't think you can completely extinguish the whole race, like it being a race issue, but I don't think that should be cause to not support the movement, because I think even if
Yeah.
it does become a class
What about
thing, which is what it should be.
I think
What
I
about
think I just meant is that like governments as a whole now, I mean as we know them, I don't feel as though their creation were meant to deal with this sort of conflict. While I feel like the governments as we know it were born out of purely class conflicts because they were born out of the they were born out of Napoleonic Revolution in France is what encouraged socialism, as well as the Karl Marx theory, and then eventually into a completely democratic socialist governments. They were created in these areas in Europe where, like, Paris, for instance. Like, I'll be honest, you're right. It was late 1700s, but God damn it, do you really think there was actually a black population in Paris? No. The governments
There was
today were
black
all
man
created out of reforms for white out of just white people. It was just class politics then. There wasn't the possibility of dealing with this race politics because they didn't
But-
need to.
that's not even fair to say that there was no black people in Paris. France had
No,
already
I'm saying there
gone
isn't a
over
black
to
population.
Africa.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying there wasn't a black population in Paris. I don't mean
But that's
people.
that's
But
also
I don't
not
mean a
fair.
significant enough population that the revolution in Paris would have facilitated a government reform for people of color.
He's saying the way that they've structured, so the way that they structured things and the way that we're
people of Paris
so the way that things are structured still based on that reform
are still based on these reforms that were
was
born
based
out-
on reform that did not keep minorities in mind at all.
No, because there weren't an amount of black people
Yeah.
leading the revolution in Paris. So
we're
obviously, race politics were not taken into account in the advancements in government that we still use today.
Exactly. Unlike in America, where racism was illegal since 1960. So we're
So
good.
like, what is even happening?
So I don't even get what they're
So-
talking about, honestly.
The U.S. is just a garbage country with too many rich people,
Pretty cool story though.
white rich
Like
people.
the whole tragedy of just the U.S.
Yeah,
I heard a cool story.
U.S.'s politics were still
it-
based on Napoleonic politics because
Yeah.
it was France that even bailed them out during fucking war with England. Everything was based on this relationship with French.
I mean, Walt Whitman loved America a lot, but he mostly was just like into trees and shit. He didn't really. I don't think.
I
really
thought he
knew
cooked
about-
meth.
They also cooked meth.
Yeah, I also heard a cool story about America. It was I don't know. It was written by some doctor. I forget his name, but it was like about eggs and ham that are green, and like there's like a fox, and he ate them in a box.
Oh fuck.
I think that was like the
Nest.
the most smartest discussion this podcast has ever had. Casey,
Do you
where'd
like
go?
green eggs and ham? Please discuss.
Please discuss.
And then post your responses on two other
Post, yeah,
of your
and then
classmates
respond to 2 other
discussion
posts.
yeah,
Please
for
highlight.
full marks, and do it before Wednesday for full marks.
I want to have another very complicated but also interesting discussion. I wanted Matt, you to continue what you were talking about before this
Boys.
podcast.
Yeah,
It's connected to like it's connected to like our sort of media thing that I forgot to keep bringing back into the podcast. But you were talking about the Amazon hit show The Boys and your feelings on it.
Yeah, I think that it's a bad show. I think that the first episode especially, I've only seen the first 3 episodes. However, I do feel that in the first 3 episodes there is an over significance of I guess exploitation of females and sexual violence. I'll be honest, I understand that is how the people writing it want to create these sort of villains, especially based on real world topics like Epstein and that coming out, where there's these real world politicians and people ruling the world that are all rapists and that. But to be honest, this is stuff that we've known for a while. I mean, guys, like, I'll be honest, like.
So your point was that it's using sexual violence against women is
it's too much
an overused trope that at this point is just damaging.
It's not
more exploitative than it is.
Trope. I just think that they have to, that when it comes to sexual violence portrayed in media, I think that they should be very careful with how they portray it. And I think the problem with The Boys isn't it's not even with how often they portray it, it's how many different characters just have these constant, like, overbearing sexual feelings just constantly on other characters. That's how I felt in the first 3 episodes, and that's what kept me from continuing to watch the show, because I just can't watch that. Like, I think it's one of the things that's kind of it's probably a bit different to me compared to, I guess, Marchin as a viewer, because I think I've watched so much anime and way too much anime, where I think I've been overexposed to this kind of sexual exploitation of women in media because anime uses it so often. Although I think there are definitely great cases.
All the women have big bouncy boobs, and that's the only point.
And any hentai is always rape.
Yeah, it's more so that there's sexual assault in anime, I think, and in too much. Even JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Yes.
You know?
It's definitely also a cultural thing, and not to
there's women
that's not
in JoJo.
It's a cultural thing.
That's not to justify it. That's not to justify it at all.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a cultural thing. Not to bash other cultures.
No, because I mean that's the thing. I find that in a lot of creation myths for even like cities and governments, they will often have their sort of revolution backed by a raping of a person.
Yeah,
Rome in specific, the raping of Lucretia. They'll use these things, of course, like The Boys, to go and back their position in showing that another person is evil. And I understand that, but yeah, there's just too much of it. There's too many characters. It's too on screen. Like they're like, guys. I mean, you can say that it's not on screen. They don't show anything. Yet it is still so much more than significant than even Berserk that does show sexual assault on screen. Like, and yet it is still more intense than that. And it's so long. It's drawn out. It's so it's fetishized in that first episode. It is very fetishized, the sexual assault that the first character receives. I feel 100% that it is fetishized because the people writing it aren't people who have actually had to experience sexual assault. I don't think like who wrote that scene? Was it a man? And if so, guess what? Shit show. Garbage.
There's 3 women on the writing team.
You have to show someone raping someone to show that they're a rapist.
Yeah. How many scenes do you have to show someone raping someone to make them a bad guy? Okay? Like seriously, at least in JoJo, Dio had to kill 1 dog. and they didn't have him. Every episode of JoJo wasn't Dio killing a dog to make sure we know Dio's bad, so that it'll be fun when JoJo kicks his ass at the end. Guess what? He killed the dog once. That's all they had to show. That's all they had.
How many women on the show
I
are
want to hear. I want to
am
hear March. I want to
completely-
hear if Merchant has anything.
How many women are raped on the show? Marcin? So
I don't know. I didn't count.
In the JoJo context of one dog killed, I want the
But is it fair to compare
as bad in the
sexual
context of
assault
sexual
scenes
violence.
to dog killing?
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison because they're both declarations of character being evil, and they're using it in very significantly different ways. Where the dog character in JoJo, Dio actually burned the dog alive. Like that was a significantly painful and heart-wrenching scene for people because that's a horrible death for a poor dog, and yet that is how they displayed that character as evil. You know,
So
they didn't need to make Dio a rapist, and I'm not saying they can't make people rapists, but don't make them raping people all the time. Do it one episode. There you go, one episode. There was
I
an
just
implied
think
sexual assault in one episode.
There is not as much as you are saying in the show.
Okay,
I just watched like almost the entire first season the last 2 days, and
Well, you were saying, Marchand, that you think that from a writing perspective, even though as Matt says that it shouldn't be used to portray that a character is evil. I think you were just trying to say that it doesn't like they go out of their way to punish these characters.
Mhm.
But I
I mean,
think
they went out of their way to punish Dio.
I think Matt's. I don't know.
I think as long as it's not fetishized
Oh, it
and
was.
not
So-
seen in obviously a good light, which I don't think it is. I think it's
No,
actually
it's definitely not shown in a good light, not at all. But that's not what's required for fetishization. There is.
No, I don't think it's
anime where
fetishized either. I really don't think it is.
the language, how the characters are presented in even how the characters that do the sexual assaulting are presented sexually and identified in the show. It's a fetishization.
Here's the thing. I don't think that you can ever.
This is an actual fetishization of Epstein's own situation. Like that's what this show is.
No,
It's a
well-
fetishization of his own situation.
More like
we all know
Weinstein.
he's a bad guy that deserved deserved whatever he got to him. But
Yeah, and how many times do the girl that
Guess
gets
what?
to kick their ass?
So you're saying you shouldn't see a bad guy keep doing bad things? Because it's like, oh, we get it, they're the bad guy. I don't think they.
okay, well, Marcin, do you think that Dio
It's
should have
like-
been kept killing
What
dogs?
I think, what I
Every
think,
watch
a bad,
fucking JoJo.
what I
Do you
think a
think
bad
Dio should have
example.
kept killing dogs? Do you think he should have
Sorry?
kept killing dogs? Do you think Dio should have kept killing?
I think
killing
that
dogs?
would
Or do you
have
think he
been.
should have moved on to other representations of how he was evil, rather than using the specific
I
killing
think
of dogs?
that
That
would have been a
depends
good
on once again. That
character
depends on
trait.
the character. If he is, I don't know, if he gets pleasure from killing dogs and he's a
Right.
piece of shit, that he's gonna keep killing dogs.
Yeah,
Obviously.
right. So it's like that's a good, not good, but like
I mean,
a-
Alf ate cats.
in a story kind of.
Then you know how you would be able to do that, Marcin? You show one scene of that character killing that dog brutally as you'd like in that first episode, and then throughout the seasons, you could even just add paws of dogs to that character's desk or background. Keep adding them to show this character's collection, serial killing of these
Sure.
dogs.
No,
and
okay,
collection of
Matt.
shows
I don't.
to make
I
you
honestly.
hate the character without putting it on fucking screen and
No.
having this dialogue that fetishizes it and it just makes it, draws it out. Like it's like it is an actual 20-minute scene just for this girl.
It's really not. It is
It is,
really
Marcin,
not.
it is. The
I
book
I watched 6 episodes yesterday, and I'm
including
telling you,
and after the
it's
first
not
episode.
as drawn out.
Here's the
as
thing.
you
If
are
you're
making.
gonna, here's the thing, and Matt, I think this kind of goes with what you're saying, is that if you're gonna portray a challenging concept in a show, in order to portray it properly, you should consult people that are heavily involved with that concept or have experienced it, or Yeah, like just have experience and have
definitely.
experience with that concept,
I
right?
would like to.
No, men get sexually assaulted for their hero story.
Yeah.
You know what?
How often are men sexually assaulted in that show for their hero story?
Actually, there is a couple or one in the first episode, but that doesn't matter because it's the same as in real life. How often are men sexually assaulted compared to women?
Still happens. But...
Sure, it still happens.
That's not the point we're making, Basie.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know. No, but it's mostly men in control.
Was that not offensive?
That's my point.
Yeah.
The guy, Marchin, the director was jerking off to this movie, like to this.
I really don't think he was because it wasn't.
I don't think that's
it was
fair to
explicit.
say.
It wasn't graphic.
I don't
That
think
doesn't
that's
matter,
fair to say.
Marchin. Guess what? Porn movies aren't all sex. Okay, there's lead up, and that's what this entire episode might have been. Might as well have been.
I think that's an extreme approach to it.
I just think if you're gonna portray, like I said, Matt, I think this goes with what your point is, that if you're gonna portray something that's challenging like this, you have to have people that like have experience and would be able to portray. It's the same thing if you're gonna have, like, say, a trans character in your show. You have to consult people that have actually like experienced this, who are trans and have trans voices.
Well, how do you know? How do you
with your
know
show.
they don't have that on the writing team?
That's the that's the thing with these
Maybe they
shows like
do.
this, though, is that you can't tell when it gets to a point where you can't tell if
But I'm just
if there
confused
are
what your
voices
point is.
if there are people contributing to this challenging concept portrayed in the show, then maybe don't
Okay, but
have it.
explain to
Then
me
maybe
how you're
don't
gonna be
have it
able
in
to
the
tell.
show.
How
Then
are you
maybe
gonna be
don't
able to
have it in
tell?
the show. Then if you can't,
No,
tell.
explain to me how you would be able to tell, because I don't get what you're saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's hard. I'm saying it's hard because you wouldn't be able to tell. I'm just bringing up another point. I'm not-
And-
Sexual assault in the.
And I'm saying I think it's done fine in the show.
Yeah, I'm sure you find it as fine, Marchin. I'm sure you can find it as fine. That's not what it's about. That you find it as fine. That you like. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's a lot easier for me to watch a black dude getting killed by the police in a movie than it is for an actual black person.
I think that's a good caveat for literally anything we talk about on this podcast. And I mean, like, obviously if you, I hate having to explain that, because obviously if you don't see that, like, obviously, like, that we're for fucking straight. And I'm not saying this, I'm talking to the audience or like people that would listen to this and be like, oh, I can't believe it. Like, no, obviously we acknowledge that we're just fucking 4 straight white dudes, like, who are like, okay, like, well, like lower middle class to upper middle class. Like, obviously everything that we criticize, except class shit, I think we have a dog in that fight. But like, stuff with race and sexual violence against women and all that shit.
Yeah, what the fuck do I know about being?
No, exactly. Like, obviously we're still racism,
right?
Obviously we're still allowed to discuss it, and we're allowed.
Is one like woman that I know. Marchin, I'm also gonna point to a little difference between me and you that might affect the show. I was also raised like by basically exclusively women. I've like, Marchin, how close are you to your older sister? Like you guys aren't close in years. So how long did you guys live together? How responsible have you been for your sister's well-being?
Well, she's a good 15 years older than me, so
I think that might be the difference here, is that I've been for a long part of my life responsible for the well-being of my older sister as well as my younger one. And so I think shows that kind of over-portray the sexual violence of women might affect me a little bit differently from you, by not having literally just the responsibility of having the safety of women be your responsibility.
No, I think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to target specifically Marchin. I don't think that's
no, but I think it's the same for Basie too. I think it's the same for like.
And I agree. I agree that it's like for stuff like, I think you're definitely onto something why you would have more of a reaction to it, and why a lot of people, I'm sure, would have reactions to any kind of media like that portrays these challenging concepts. It's definitely based on your background and your experience, and that's why I'm saying, right. And Martin's right. It's hard. You can never tell who like the average Joe isn't going to know that, someone that had experience with, sexual violence and is like an advocate and a voice for sexual violence against women collaborated on the show. They're not going to know that, and there's no way to tell, which is, I think that is just kind of, I don't know.
I think there would be a way to tell, actually. I think that a person who was actually, well, I guess at least knowledgeable of the of people who know that would have, I guess, insisted on an actual message being like written at the beginning and end of every episode regarding sexual assault. Like not only like there's not actually anything written in the show at the end of it. Like when you're having a television show, like honestly, even Game of Thrones, like at the end of the episode at the end of any episode where a character is raped, there should be helplines, there should be so much shit like done at the end of any episode that kind of portrays that shit.
I think that's valid.
Do that. Like I don't think that the Game of Thrones episodes where a person was raped were enjoyable, good at all. I think they were shitty episodes. I think that was the shittiest part of Game of Thrones. I think that it's just not entertaining for me at all. It completely turns me off of a show.
And that's fine. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. You have your opinion to not like the show.
Mm-hmm.
But to objectively say the show is bad.
Oh yeah, bad show.
Right. That's where I have the problem.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you can say
the Boys is different.
Subjectively,
because the Boys it's different because I can say Berserk is bad. Like I could say Berserk is bad, and like that's
cool,
that's not something I need to I don't know. Okay, so I guess you're right. Like I guess I can't say that it's bad purely because of my idea of that. My own, I guess, idea and reaction to sexual violence portrayed on screen. I will, however, say that, my reaction to Berserk is heavily, heavily different to The Boys, even though they are different, completely different in the way that they present sexual violence. The Berserk is much more graphic. It shows the nudity. It shows the forcefulness. It's much more graphic, disgusting, and yet it's still done better in Berserk than Game of Thrones. I mean, then not Game of Thrones, then fucking The Boys. Like it's still like that is bad. That is bad.
But you're judging the entire. You're judging.
I'm judging the entire show off of the fact that a person can be more affected and like no, it's. Okay. Berserk is a manga that was posted in an ad that was started being posted in an actual porn magazine. That is where Berserk began.
Right.
Okay, Berserk began
young
in a
animal
porn
babies,
where that fetishized this sexual assault. Okay, and yet The Boys is still less is still worse and more rapey and more drawn out with this sexual assault and violence than anything that was ever in Berserk. Anything.
I want to hear,
except for the Griffith scene, the specific Griffith scene. And you know what? That was the bad part of Berserk. That was the worst part. They shouldn't have had that. Was shit. That was bad writing, garbage.
Jamie, can you put up the Griffith scene from Berserk?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to hear what Marchand. I want to hear one more thing from Marchand. What you were gonna say?
What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Anyways, Matt, I think you have completely valid points, and I think it would be.
It's a problem that that Berserk, which was actually a manga, actually started in a Japanese porn magazine.
Stop asking Marchand anime shit.
Women. No. I'm asking him, do you think that is bad? That it is more drawn out and worse in the book?
That is.
Do you think that that's bad?
That's your opinion on it, right?
I don't think it's drawn out in The Boys, though. That's what I'm saying.
Mark's never seen Berserk.
I think it's done pretty well as far as you can do that, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth.
Do you need to show a person's a rapist?
How many rape scenes do you need to show a person's a rapist, Merchant?
But that's not the thing, right?
I mean, one rape scene means they're rapists, but that's not the point. And besides, as far as per character, it was not more than one per character.
Martin, what is the point? Why do they need to show the sexual assault?
They
Like,
don't.
explain
They
to me
don't.
why.
But they don't. That's the
Okay,
thing. There's no explanation for it. But there's no
let's move past-
explanation for making the show in the first place, right?
Let's move past the boys, though.
No, but there
You
is a
guys do-
reason. They put it in there for a reason, Basie. They wouldn't. You put violence in a show for a reason.
Talk about
For
it.
like in 300, do you think that them stabbing the Persians, there was a reason for that, Basie? Yes,
Yes.
because
Not in 300. No, it was made
No,
by
there
Zack
was-
Snyder.
it was
to make money. It was
It was
to
a-
make money. It's for boys and men
make
to go
money.
and see it and say,
So
"Oh,
why-
the
why
man stab man."
in it? Why?
People will go
Ask
Why
me
what?
why. Like, answer me then. Why?
Why what?
You can find an answer for 300 why they put. You can answer. You can find an answer for any movie why they
Fucking
put violence in the movie. Now tell me why they put sexual assault in The Boys. Give me a reason, because there's a reason for
Because
any
there's
other
shitty
violence.
people abusing their positions of power against people that can't do anything about it because they're
Okay.
fucking superheroes and they can
How
get away with it.
How many scenes do
why.
you need to show that? How many scenes of sexual assault do you need to show that?
I don't know. You can say that about killing too. How many scenes
You're
of
right.
them killing someone do they need to know? I don't know.
You don't.
To show that the
you could
person's
have the
bad.
entire
One.
thing sexual.
One,
assault.
Martin, you're right. There's only one scene you need for killing to show the person's bad. You're right. You're right. Dio killed one dog,
That
didn't he?
doesn't. Okay.
Dio killed one dog, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. He killed one dog, didn't he? Uh-oh.
Okay, I want to bring this past. I want to.
Dog.
All right, I want to bring this beyond just the writing of the boys.
Mhm.
I think we like you have to agree, like March and Basie, at some point that the idea of using
That this director has
sexual
probably raped someone. You have
no,
to
but
agree.
the idea of using sexual assault in a
probability.
way
That's an actual
to
probability.
portray character motivation and the portrayal of it and using it, in a medium that makes money is problematic, right? I don't think there's that much of an argument there. Like,
Sorry, you were cutting out. I didn't hear what you said.
I was
I
it
gotta
you
repeat that?
too? I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear.
am I
anything.
cutting out?
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
think
it might have just been my internet. I've been cutting out all day.
Noah
so-
said
No,
that
but it's for
recent-
VG, Mark.
recent
Repeat what you
things
said.
going on. There's actually heavy implications that of the possibility of the director of The Boys
I didn't say
being a sexual assaulter
I didn't say
due
that.
to. So what does that mean for you, Merchant?
I'm saying no. I'm just saying that like I don't think it's hard to disagree that it's a problematic topic that in the future and now honestly
Mhm.
should be treaded more carefully, and again, like I
One-
said,
guys.
include voices that have experience with the topic.
This is why JoJo's season
to
1 was
contribute.
perfect. JoJo's season 1 was perfect. That's all you needed.
I
Okay,
love you guys. I think you guys are very smart.
I love you guys.
Sorry, once again, I didn't hear anything. My dad came into the room, so but yes.
I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I can't find anything about Stefan Schwartz, the director of The Boys, being a sexual assaulter.
I think you guys are very
No,
smart.
not yet.
I definitely think Matt's argument is something to stew and think about, though. I don't think it's something that I think it's
Right.
completely valid, and I think it should be considered, right?
But where does it end? Right? How much censorship? When does it end?
With sexual assault, that's it.
So you don't do
So
that.
that's
So
where
that's
it
off
ended.
the table. That's off the table.
It's not censorship, though. It's just
I'm not
creating
censoring it.
you're
I'm just
creating a
saying,
world
it's
and
the
writing
one-
it.
It's the one dog system, Basie. I'm telling you a perfect system. I laid it out for you. The one dog system is the perfect system.
But what if Dio
I'm saying
did?
Boys didn't have it.
Dio,
I'm saying
Dio kills
boys-
2 dogs.
It's throwing
What?
out to wonton, and it's-
Kill
Dio-
dog. No, that's too bad. That's bad. That's bad writing.
That's bad. That's bad.
There's a reason that in all of the John Wick movies, one dog has been killed. There's an actual reason,
Over and
Basie.
over again, you get desensitized to it.
Yeah,
But-
you also literally get desensitized to seeing things over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Like, obviously, we're all desensitized to actual violence now because of video games. That is an actual fact. Like gore itself is going to act completely differently to us.
I think I'm
Another
desensitized not because of video games, but because I would watch the cartel massacres on Live Leak when I was
Yeah,
I
young.
don't
go
know how
on
you
and watch
guys-
people
sure.
die,
Wait,
and
I would
Okay,
never do that. You
that's
guys are
true.
insane.
You're true. That's true. Just like it's a lot easier for you to watch sexual violence now, thanks to
It's
the
internet-
internet.
I
It's-
wouldn't say that. I can't watch sexual violence.
it's
I-
look.
I
everyone
I
comes-
don't think that
They're
makes.
not 20
I don't
seasons
think that makes the
are you?
show. bad.
You're not 20 seasons deep.
Rooting for the antagonist.
Yeah.
He gets to beat up the next
You're not 20 seasons deep, okay?
In
You're
what?
okay, and then when you'll be on 20 seasons, you'll just be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see which new bad guy comes over and rapes a girl, so that the good guy can come over and beat him up." Hell yeah, good show. Oh man, I can't wait for the next rape.
That is
There's a girl. Quick!
that is absolutely not what that show's about.
Here's
But
I can
I think we're done on that conversation.
You know where you can continue that conversation though in the
How
comments.
they showed the women, even in the scenes from actual camera angles in the show, were over sexualized. Where the camera angles themselves are completely separate from the writing, and in which the I guess characters need to be, say, costume, for instance, where you could argue, well, this whole show's about how sexual assault, so they have to be in skimpy outfits. But how about camera angles? Camera angles don't need to change. Yet, even in the first couple episodes, I can't wait to watch.
Nobody in that show's in a skimpy outfit. I mean, the main girl gets in a skimpy outfit and then immediately leaves because she feels uncomfortable in it.
Which makes sense.
Good.
Because she thinks it's
Yeah.
exploitation.
God.
All right, guys. I love that was good. That was actually good. That was
such a good episode where that main character went in, got raped, and then left the hero team. That was such a good episode. I'm glad I watched that. Man,
Okay.
Hey guys,
good episode. This was great.
guys,
This was great, man.
listen. I think this was a very good and valid discussion. I want to hear more from people, and I think this is a good perspective to have as well. That being said, we are at an hour 12, I think.
Stefan Schwartz, I will fucking kill you in real life if I ever see you. I swear to fucking God.
And that's what we're all about here. We're about extremes.
Yeah.
You know what you should, and the extreme I think you should go to is following us on iTunes and Spotify.
And if you actually do see a rapist in real life, just fucking kill him.
I think
seriously.
also if you give
that's the thing in the show. Like if you are gonna show it in shows, I'm gonna give you the golden rule: you kill them right away. Like there's no point. It's not the it's unless that's the thing, guys. Dogs guys, imagine thinking that you can teach a dog to that peeing in the house is bad. If you wait 6 seasons to hit the dog and say no, bad peeing in house. That's not how dogs were fucking trained over millennia of years. It was, oh, you peed in the house? Okay, I hit you right now. I hit you right now, and because you peed in the house. Okay, yeah. Oh, look, he raped that woman. Oh man, can't wait for 90 seasons for him to get killed, and beat up. Oh,
so you're saying if they get punished immediately,
yes, it's better.
Okay.
No, it's better. I'm saying it's better. I'm not saying
in what scenario do they get punished immediately when it's a one-on-one situation where one has power over the other? That's the whole point.
Berserk. Berserk. No, Berserk is the
Berserk, where the fucking god with a fucking 20-foot sword.
Harvey Weinstein wasn't sliced in half the first time he raped somebody.
Yeah,
wish
I'm saying he should have, and I'm saying the show would actually be more entertaining if that happened.
He should have
90-season build-up for this rape.
It's not at. Oh my god! I'm not having this discussion. Because you do not seem to want to have this discussion.
And then them being killed. That character that they killed off immediately for and that was also a sexual thing. They could have even just showed intent before killing him. They didn't have to, but they did. They did show him actual doing it. They could have always gone with intent over the actual going through with it and showing out these long drawn out scenes on stage. It's just so gross. It's so fucking
listen, I think
so fucked. The Boys fucking sucks.
I think that was awesome.
I think it's a really good show.
I think it's a good
disgusting show.
I think it's a good point, and I think that it should be validated and should be listened to. And I think that's also all the time we have. And if you
literally never want to see a male director in a show about women getting sexually assaulted. If you want to do a real world show about women actually being sexually assaulted in the real world, I swear to God, if there's a male fucking director, I will actually sneak into your house and slit your fucking throat. Seriously, there's no reason for it. There's actually none.
All right, and that's been post unavailable.
There's absolutely
week.
no reason.
It goes back to the argument I said about let voices who are actually involved with challenging ideas portray those challenging ideas, right?
Thank you. I'm sure that you've donated all of your money from the boys. I'm sure you've made a very good difference. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Matt. Actually, I don't think you should monetize rape.
Yeah,
I don't think you should monetize sexual assault. That being said, people do it, and it's kind of shitty.
Piece of shit.
You know what show? You know what show doesn't monetize sexual assault though? Post Unavailable.
I mean, if we were being paid, that's exactly. You could make the argument that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, but we don't get paid, so it's fine. We're not monetizing it.
If the show,
Nope. We're done. We're being played out. We're being played out. We're done.
Okay.
Follow us on YouTube and iTunes and Spotify, and keep having discussions like this. Nothing like that. None of this is harmful.
God.
All right. I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, this is like the Greek form, exactly, for monkeys.
This right now is the Greek.